Yep, anime's companies started having less money around this time, so there were more OVAs being made. I mean, technically, OVAs were more the trendy in the 80s, yes. But there were more being made in the 90s. And yeah, Takahashi and Miyazaki continued to rise and become more successful. Manga sales, interestingly, from the research I did, manga sales actually peaked in 1995 of interest. I mean, some of the titles that you may associate more today, you think would contribute more, but they actually peaked back then. And there are a lot of shows that are still going on and on from that decade.
That's because that's when people were still buying the Toriyama stuff and like, what is it, Urasawa? No? Yeah.
I mean, there were effectively more titles that people liked back then. Now it's more like there are a few titles that people buy a lot of. That's important things to know. Yeah, things like Mariko-chan and Crayon Shin-chan, which are very highly rated on Japanese TV, and some of you very more kiddie ones like Conan and Pokemon.
And also ones like One Piece.
Yes, One Piece.
Well, that's like 99.
One Piece was technically October 1999, but people generally
this planet, it's going to be 5 years. Nope. Yeah. It's going to be at least 13 years.
Probably 13.
Okay, we'll briefly mention that title from 1995. You know, like, we refer to it as The War, but you probably know it more as Evangelion. And well, somehow it is the best-selling series of all time in terms of average sales per volume.
It's because Gainax is very good at marketing.
Yeah.
They really are. That's something you do have to give them kudos for. And you also do have to give kudos to Hana for creating character archetypes that are still being used today, like Oscar the fairly...
He didn't create.
Not creating, but in terms of good examples. Alright, perhaps they didn't quite create it, but in terms of good examples of it, like there weren't really a lot of them around yet. It was more in the noughties that these three types became more prominent. Yeah, much of the time. And yeah, Arma had issues. He admitted that himself now that he's remaking the movies in the rebuild phase.
Did you see that as well on Friday?
Yes, 2.22.
Thanks, God.
Yeah. And yeah, very long-standing merchandise marketing value because you're still seeing a lot of Oscar and Ray figures still being made today. And that gives a lot of funds to Gainax and their subsidiaries. And yeah, well, we could say a lot about Evangelion, but let's let Spike Spencer do it, because you know he does it best.
Oh, this is nice. This is the end. Okay. Where exactly am I? Oh, here's the song. Oh, good. There's some things that are still unresolved here, guys. How do I get home? What do I eat? Was Ray my mom? Or a clone? Or the hell? Was this all in my mind? What's an Ava? Is that sort of a Freudian thing, or, am I real? Oh, does the bus run through here? I mean, I'd like to go home now, but, oh, God, where's home? Okay. I mustn't run away. Okay, I got that. Good, okay. Now, if I were to run away, let's analyze that. Where the fuck would I go? I'm on a big blue ball. Is this how you end the series? I mean, is this where we go from here? Okay, the movie better sure as hell make up for this. I'm going because I'm stuck in nowhere land. Dude, didn't need a bet.
Incidentally, if you own the DVD box set, you know the one that everyone seems to have, the Platinum box set, that's the mysterious fourth audio track on the final episode. It's a completely silent voice track until the credits start, in which place that brand plays. Try it at home, kids. Actually, not kids, you shouldn't be watching Evangelion.
Yeah, but I did. I saw it when I was 14.
That's not kid, that's teenager.
Oh well.
That's the same age as Shinji.
I still didn't know what was going on though. I only paid attention to Oscar and Masato at the time.
That's not Pen.
Yeah, good point. Okay, but let's actually talk about the other things that helped win the West over with anime. I mean, things like Ghost in the Shell was a pretty important film. Oshii did some really good... This was Oshii's most successful title, wasn't it?
I guess.
Along with the 2 TV series as well, in the noughties.
That wasn't him.
Well, he was still a major part behind it. That was what he directed though.
So, yeah, this is when like Production IG just made a big bunch of those really cool, edgy sci-fi style films in the late 90s, you know, like Jinro, The Wolf Brigade, and so on. So they kind of just started entering at a time when lots of American publishers started publishing a lot of shows. And so they kind of gave off this impression that we actually make good things. And then a couple of years later, they just stopped making these things. Everyone was like, why aren't you making them more? And well, we don't normally make those things.
Okay. And, well, rather than rant about a slide about Cowboy Bebop and Triangle, let's just show a clip note and you two guys can talk. Okay, the clip's
5 minutes, by the way.
about 10. Right.
I was told it's only 5 minutes left.
Alright, well, just go through clips as best we can.
Play the clips quickly.
Yeah, don't play off this one.
So, who's your favourite Bebop character, people?
I think it's time for the lights.
Okay.
Correct answer is I.
Yep.
Yes.
All the old guys.
Oh yeah, that's the sitting bull guy.
Yeah. Oh, just the old guys. Yeah, just, you know, back in my day, we did the house
That's
and
the
the
guy
green
who's
singers.
That's
That's not smoking.
Oh, the fridge.
Anyway, I guess we're talking about Yoko Kano again.
Yes.
Yoko Kano was a cool composer. She writes cool music. She does it for some cool shows, and she does it for some really bad shows. So,
Yes.
what are you gonna do?
Well, this, Escaflowne was another one she did.
Yeah, she did Escaflowne. She did Macross Class and Frontier.
And then Nordy, she also did both Ghost of the Shell series.
Yeah.
How many bands does she have now?
All the bands.
Yeah.
So, I think really, if we've got 5 minutes left, then I think we should wrap it up there. So yeah,
Yeah.
90s, fine,
Try it.
talk fast, talk fast.
When did you get here?
Yeah, Triangle was another pretty cool show that the US liked the Japanese didn't.
Give me that.
This land is made of love and peace!
Wolf Orders Cross. So the next one, Simeon.
I'm about to go down.
Skip. Yeah. We'll talk about a few other nice shows.
Oh no, we'll just talk about Sakura.
Yeah, this is probably one of the biggest shows ever.
It's a manly show. Watch it.
Yeah, it's good. This actually did screen Aussie TV in the late 90s.
We don't talk about that English stuff.
Oh, and especially not the American version, because they actually played episode 12 first, because they wanted the audience to think that the guy was the main character. So they showed episode...
People won't watch it, it has girls in it.
Yeah, so they
Girls
took...
are icky.
So they took out 31 episodes, changed the episode order, changed the content. Yeah, it's a completely different show and trying to hold the original.
So what have you got there?
What's
Something. Magical girl show. D&D with lots of bad jokes. A crazy fantasy robot show which is completely crazy. Next slide. Let's just, we've got like 5 minutes. Let's just run through this quickly.
Yeah, let's go through the noughties then. Yeah, go to the noughties.
No one cares about nowadays. Nowadays,
What, we'll skip the noughties?
Alright, done.
something.
Yeah, basically Escaflowne is just people singing Escaflowne.
Alright, big thing is the end of the decade led to a lot of people starting to use computers for producing animation. But even when it's not 3D animation, a lot of, pretty much all two-dimensional animation is actually produced on computers these days. About like 98, 99 was when things really started. Like if you've ever seen Exile Saga, there's an episode where there's the evil Americans trying to make their Japanese animes. And then Exile's like, what are you doing? You don't use slaves to make cells anymore, we just do it on computers now.
We'll just very quickly go through noise. Yeah, there are some sales figures. We'll put links up to these sales figures later on. So you see things like Evangelion, the Government series, the Cross series, and other titles like Rurouni Kenshin were big at the big for the pre-2000. Yep, keep going.
Probably the thing to note there is that most of them are either Toei or Sunrise.
Yeah.
They were pretty much the two big
They
studios
know how
at the
to
time.
market.
Yep, that is true. Look, the noughties, yeah. A fair few of them may have started watching anime more seriously in 2001 because that Spirited Away movie is pretty much the highest selling title of all time in Japan and the West. And there are other people like Satoshi Kon and Koto Shinkai made the film more interesting, more different. Rukia Takahashi, she's a billionaire, but Oda, yep, is pretty much...
More a billionaire.
Yeah, it's because One Piece just keeps going and going.
And it's great, we should read One Piece.
Yeah, and other styles of things that came up, like as the manga dies, Warcomber led to more things like that being made. And you also had visual novel and titles coming up, and light novel titles like Haruhi, Suzumiya, Shana, Fate Stay Night. And yeah, you also had attempts to get back into prime time, which is the point most shows in Japan are showed in the graveyard shift. But a couple like Code Geass and Full Metal Alchemist were shown in prime time and got a lot of sales and ratings as a result. And one time slot that isn't kind of in the graveyard shift but is reasonably successful is the Noitamina slot, because it's aimed at young adults and ranks in some pretty good.
It's a slot of what, 10 o'clock to 12, 10 o'clock to midnight, I think is the slot time.
Yeah, instead of like 2 o'clock to 4 o'clock.
Yeah. Or 7 o'clock if it's a kids show.
But it's, out of all the more customized slots, this is the one that's had relative success for a different market. Do you want to play either of clips of or skip?
I think we should just skip through and finish up.
Yeah, we'll finish up. Yeah, it shows that it's still going. You know, Sasai-san, over 2,000 episodes, and most of the rest you know. Here's an interesting comparative shot that we've got next though. You may have seen Kaon. Now, if you're familiar with Akamiya Mio, this is what she would look like if she was drawn differently in a different decade.
What? Yeah, might as well just end it there.
Yeah, the rest.
Anyone have any questions or want to berate us for being terrible panelists or something? Go ahead. Anyone that you want to say?
Yeah, the rest was just sales figure stuff, which we can link to you later. So, this panel has been recorded, we'll have it available online.
So thank you for coming. Is there anything you want to say? Sure.
One Piece and Fairy Tail, is that the same?
No, that's not the same artist at all.
The guy who does Fairy Tail was like Oda's apprentice at some point.
just like Oda was an assistant on Rurouni Kenshin.
Yeah.
Because that was another pretty good point.
Yeah.
Anyone else got a question? Anyone else?
Alright, pretty sure. Well, I think we're out.
Yeah, so basically, yeah, we're with AJS, the LA Japanese Animation Society. We're on every Tuesday night, just a bit further down North Terrace at Uni SA East. Check out ajs.org.au if you'd like to find out more about us and like to attend in the future. We have some special 80s nights coming up on the 2nd and 9th of August. Yep, and also 90s and noughties. And we've got flyers with our general details up there in the front for you to collect if you want to follow us up more. Well, thank you very much for attending. Enjoy the rest of AVCon. Peace out.